Coming from CBSNews.com, Steve Bannon pleads guilty in We Built the Wall donor fraud case in New York. And what was that about this new administration weeding out fraud? And everybody else was fraudulent but them. But everybody in Trump's sphere seems to have fraud cases. They got a lot of weird cases. And nobody's pitching a fit about everything mysteriously being dropped regarding Adams. Okay. Pish posh. Let's just get into it, okay? Steve Bannon pleaded guilty to a state charge on Tuesday for his role in a plot to defraud donors to a nonprofit devoted to building a wall on the country's southern border. And before you go, well, Trump will just pardon him. These are state charges. Trump can't just pardon him. Okay? All right. Bannon won't serve time behind bars under the plea agreement, which was laid out during a hearing in a New York courtroom on Tuesday in exchange for pleading guilty to one count of scheming to defraud in the first degree. He received a sentence of conditional discharge for 3 years. The sentence means he can't serve as the director of any nonprofit in New York or raise money for charities with assets in the state. He was also forbidden from using donor data stemming from the scheme. The plea brings to an end a matter that began during President Trump's first administration, just as Mr. Trump has vowed again to beef up border barriers in the early days of his new presidency. Now, now he broke the law. It was wrong. But, and I'm not a Trumplican, I'm not a Magadonian, but at some point, stop punishing these people for MAGA stupidity. It's willful fucking stupidity. And some of them lie so much and so hard that they got to take an L from time to time to keep up the facade of their lives. Y'all gonna tell me you donated to a nonprofit regarding a plan from the sitting POTUS. You didn't realize that was something that would be handled by federal dollars? But you keep saying the Biden administration was fraudulent. As much as Trump hates Obama, how come there's only fraud now? And in all the places that Trump either previously touted or created. Y'all did. Oh, you were putting those pieces of the puzzle together? Yeah, Musk's loyalty to Trump is about as sturdy as a check left in the rain. Bannon was charged in September 2022 for his role in an organization that raised millions for an effort to privately build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. Once again, why? If this is a promise of the president, who at the time kept saying that he was in constant contact with then President of Mexico to get this done, and he had all these plans, why are you done? You know what? Spend the money you ain't got. Y'all want to complain about the prices of gas and eggs when a Democrat is in office, but it doesn't matter who's in office. Y'all are still going to find a way to give Trump, the billionaire businessman y'all love so much, is supposed to save this country, all of your coin. But you looking for fraud everywhere else. Like, you can catch when a landlord is taking advantage of you. You claim that you can spot a welfare queen, but you ain't been able to recognize Trump as a welfare king? Oh, okay. Bannon and the group, which was called We Built the Wall, were accused of defrauding donors of $15 million in donations, though Bannon's lawyer said Tuesday he didn't personally pocket any of the money. See, y'all called going after and prosecuting actual fraud a two-tiered justice system, weaponizing the government. The government is being weaponized now. There are just accusations being tossed out, but no warrants issued, no prosecutions underway, no plans for actual, real, factual, evidence-based prosecution. Wake up. Listen, Linda. Listen. Put the Ambien down. It's time for you to wake up. Bannon attended the hearing in his usual courtroom attire, a brown jacket and untucked black button-down shirt over gray jeans. He was charged with 2 counts of money laundering in the 2nd degree, 2 counts of conspiracy in the 4th degree, a scheme to defraud in the 1st degree, and conspiracy in the 5th degree. Under the plea agreement, Bannon entered a guilty plea to the 1st degree scheme to defraud charge. Bannon also waived his right to appeal the case because he knows he's guilty. Like, stop wasting everybody's money. And he doesn't have the cash flow that he used to have, obviously, because the grifting has been uncovered and prosecuted. That is the overwhelming theme of MAGA. They know that there's no massive fraud going on in the federal government. The massive fraud is going on amongst MAGAs. MAGAs are grifting MAGAs. You didn't know? Oh, you didn't know? Bannon was indicted on federal charges in a similar case in August 2020. That case came to an abrupt halt when Bannon was pardoned by Mr. Trump in the final hours of his first term in office. Mr. Trump's pardon authority extends to federal matters, meaning he is not able to pardon Bannon in this case, which is in a New York State court. I don't understand how so many of y'all can stand on the side of people who require pardons. And before you start listing historical activists that, they didn't request pardons and they were not pardoned, not during their lifetime. They held those arrests, those prosecutions like a badge of honor because they knew they were standing 10 toes down on the right side of history. These motherfuckers are just trying to flip you upside down and shake you for everything that you got. You're letting them. So maybe you want to ease up on sticking your nose up when you see certain people in society because you are one more chuckle, one more high five to the elite away from that being you. Bannon served 4 months in a federal prison in 2024 after he was found guilty in 2022 of contempt of Congress for refusing to comply with a subpoena to appear before the House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Bannon has decried all the cases against him, claiming they were driven by political animus. No, they weren't. You're a crook. That's why you pled guilty today. You are crooked, Mr. Bitch. Do your time and scratch that itch. The charges against him in New York were brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, whose office last year obtained the only criminal conviction in American history of a former or future president. In that case, Mr. Trump was found guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in a matter dating back to his first campaign for president in 2016. The case, which Mr. Trump has appealed, promises to put Bragg and his office at the center of heightened scrutiny as Mr. Trump and his senior Justice Department leadership vow to investigate those who investigated him, aka retribution, weaponizing the federal government against political opponents. It's a cause with wide support among the president's most fervent supporters, including Bannon. Yeah. Because criminals are going to support criminals as they fuck each other over. Anywho, let me know your thoughts in the comments.